Well, what do we have here? Apparently, NFL news. This is by Bleacher Report. Mike Tomlin trade requests from Bears reportedly rejected by Steelers. Now, this is not a surprise from as far as I'm concerned, because there's always been rumors and thoughts that the Bears would be snooping around the Steelers facility. That maybe, perhaps, the Steelers might be fatigued and wanting to go in a different direction regarding Mike Tomlin, and then they Bears can just swoop in and at the very least get an interview with them. Personally, Mike Tomlin is a good coach. He's a solid coach. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, regardless of what some people might think. People like Terry Bradshaw, he's not too fond of Mike Tomlin, and we don't necessarily know why. There could be some other things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but it is what it is. Everybody's not gonna get along. You know, but this does not surprise me. It seems like I still think the Bears are using this as a smoke screen. They're going out of their way to, we can't tell you this, we can't verify that. You ask them who the agents of their coaching prospects are, they don't want to discuss that. You ask Ryan Poles or Kevin Warren about agents, they don't want to discuss that. It's just small, minute things that don't really matter that they should be willingly open to discussing. They seem to shy away from giving direct answers, because in their mind, I guess they think it's a competitive thing. Because Matt Eberflus was the same way. Just I don't want to talk about that. Competitive balance. It's as if if the competitors know what they're doing, that's going to help them on a football field. Because obviously they didn't need that much help this year when it came to beating the Bears. So I don't know what all this government secrecy is about with the Bears, but apparently it's starting to leak out that the Bears reached out to the Steelers to talk to Mike Tomlin to be their head coach. And my stance has been the same this whole time around. I think an offensive-minded head coach is the way to go. That way, it doesn't matter if you shuffle in and out of offensive coordinators. You pick the wrong offensive coordinator. It doesn't matter, because your head coach is that guy. He's the brain trust of that offense anyway. So it doesn't matter. You're getting a 2-for-1. So let's read some of this about Mr. Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has already made it clear he has no interest in another coaching job. But that didn't stop the Chicago Bears from at least trying to inquire about potentially trading for the 52-year-old. And Bears should be hopefully they're talking to somebody behind the scenes, because if Mike Tomlin is of the mindset that, once I'm done coaching in Pittsburgh, I'm done coaching, you could be wasting all your time and assets. Let's say the trade does go off, and Mike Tomlin in the beginning is like, okay, I'll try it, but his heart is not in it. And then he retires or quits. Now you're screwed. You done gave up all your draft picks. Per ESPN's Adam Schefter, now they got Shefty on the business. The Pittsburgh Steelers rebuffed an inquiry from from the Bears, and discussions never even made it to Tomlin. Schefter also noted another unnamed team looked into potentially trading for Tomlin, but halted its efforts upon learning he had a no-trade clause in his contract. Oh, okay. Well, that kills that right away. In the wake of the Steelers' 28-14 loss to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC wildcard game on January 11th, there were some questions from fans and analysts about whether or not Tomlin should be back. Oh, yeah, I bet Terry Bradshaw leading that charge. Per Gary Dulac, of the Pittsburgh Post Gazette, the Steelers had no plans to move on from Tomlin. Speaking to reporters on Monday, Tomlin offered a blunt response when asked about his potential availability via trade. Save your time, he said. Well, there you go, right there. I mean, people should stop even putting that on the table. He's not interested. The Steelers not interested. And the way he's talking, if they do part ways, he seems like he might be out of coaching. Right? He might not want to coach somebody else. Some people are just made different. Some people are built different. Some people are cut from an old school cloth. Like, in his mind, he wants to win in Pittsburgh. And if that doesn't happen for whatever reason, he sounds like he's going to be done. That's just my interpretation of it. It could, he could change his mind. Things could change. You never know. But from these quotes and the way the Steelers do business, they hold on to their coaches a very long time. They don't flip-flop, because they have one thing about Pittsburgh, the organization, they're good at evaluating their coaches. So they don't have to pivot and be like, oh crap, we picked a crappy coach. Now we got to pivot on a dime and try to fix this. They don't have to worry about that because generally over the decades, they've been good at evaluating the talent of head coaches. So they don't have to go through a lot of the things that teams like the Bears be going through, picking trash-ass coaches and then wonder, holy crap, what the hell is going on? Chicago's interest in Tomlin isn't a big surprise. The franchise is looking for stability at head coach after a volatile 2024 season that saw Matt Eberflus get fired on November 29th after a 4-8 start. But one thing, even though Tomlin is a future Hall of Famer, his one Achilles heel is consistently being able to hire quality offensive coordinators. Defense is hardly ever a problem. Their defense is usually solid. Offensive line usually solid. They usually have a good running game too. Their issue is offensive coordinator. And to be honest, after Ben Roethlisberger retired, their issue has been the quarterback position also. They can't really pinpoint a solid starter to take the reins of that that position. So that's another problem they've been having. But overall, Tomlin, you add all those issues together and the fact that Tomlin is still able to get his team to the playoffs, that's a huge accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? The Bears would seem like an attractive team for any candidate because of the potential Caleb Williams possesses after being selected with the number 1 overall pick in 2024 draft. Even though his rookie season was inconsistent, Williams finished with 3,541 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. By comparison, Steelers quarterback threw for 3,264 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So, and we talking about Russell Wilson, not the dude we traded up out here, Justin Fields. I know a lot of you Justin Fields fanboys got an issue with that. You're still licking your wounds and, pouring out your tears. But don't worry, I'll take those tears and put them in a Kool-Aid jar and make a nice, exquisite gallon of Kool-Aid. There may come a point when the Steelers and Tomlin decide to part ways, but it's not going to happen this offseason after going 10-7 and making the playoffs for the 4th time in the past 5 years, 5 seasons. Well, I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description box down below. You guys can check it out for yourselves, read it for yourselves. Let me know what you think, your interpretation of what's going on. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. If all of us pretty much kind of knew this already, But the Bears are starting to look crazy out here. It's starting to look like a clown show, a pure circus of the ages. Like all the instead of, and I don't now remember these comments are based on being on the outside looking in, because we don't know that maybe they talked to when they had the Zoom interview with Ben Johnson. Both sides might have both agreed, like, yo, you gonna be our guy, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna interview a lot of other people, we're gonna say some things, but this right here is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna throw everybody off by interviewing all these people and misdirect them, because a lot of because coaches be kind of paranoid like that too, as far as people getting a competitive advantage on them based on having certain information about other teams you're going to eventually compete against. So you might not want to let the cat out the bag. So they might have, for all we know, they might have came to an agreement already, but they're not allowed to say anything until, I don't think they can say anything until the Lions are officially eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, they could have a Zoom interview, but I don't think they can have an in-person interview until the Lions are eliminated. And if they, let's just say they made an agreement on that Zoom call, hey, we're going to hire you. Are you interested? Ben says, yeah. Sorry, we're going to throw everybody else off. The executives tend to think like that, especially the Bears. The Bears are bad with that. The Bears are to the point where they move in a paranoia sense when it comes to that, thinking it gives them a competitive balance, a competitive advantage. But how much of an advantage has it been since the last time we won a Super Bowl was 1985? In 2006, we got there, but all of us kind of knew this is not, Devin Hester is going to have to run back multiple punts and kickoffs in order for the Bears to have a chance to win in this game, because we're going up against Peyton Manning. We don't have a quarterback. We got a good running game with Thomas Jones, and we got a solid defense spearheaded by Vic Fangio. But we kind of knew in the back of our mind we probably not winning this game. And we was fooled at the beginning of the game when Devin Hester ran that first kickoff back for a touchdown. We all started thinking like, okay, yeah, we might be able to do something. And then Rex Grossman did Rex Grossman things. And then we was quickly reminded that, we got Rex Grossman for quarterback. So, this is probably not going to happen. But those are the only two times in the past 45 plus years that we've been to the Super Bowl. Ironically, those two times we had good offensive lines, but nobody wants to ever talk about that. Apparently that's not important, according to Ryan Poles, ex-offensive lineman. Very ironic how things like that work out, don't you think? So y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, hit the like button so I can get in the algorithm and we can get this thing popping right. This is Shy Out of Town Sports, and I'm out.